Okay. So today I met with a potential success partner. I've been looking for a success partner lately. And if you guys don't already have a success partner, I highly suggest getting one. Heather and Chad might be fine, because you're kind of working with each other anyway. So you have someone to bounce ideas off of, push each other, in that regard. You can still get another one too, but success partners are great, and it's something that I'm starting to look into more because even though we have a great upline and we have like every tool we can possibly imagine, unless we have some people just need a direct contact, you know what I mean? Like a partner in crime. So in this business, we don't have a boss. So we don't have anyone really to be held accountable to, right? So when you have a boss at a regular job, like you have to punch in and you have to punch out at a specific time. And if you don't, then your payroll person's most likely going to be contacting you. Or, you know what I mean? Like whatever the situation is, you gotta go sit with daddy now, okay? Go see daddy. Same thing, like if you don't turn in whatever your projects or your tasks are, or your notes or whatever for the week, someone's going to be coming to you and asking if you did them. Or there's different things in all jobs that you have to report to a boss, or if you don't have to report to a boss has to check it. So in this business, for some people it can get a little easy to let those things slide because you're not going to get in trouble, or there's going to be no reprimanding aside from not growing your business and not getting an income. You know what I mean? So there's no accountability there. So anyway, that's one of the great benefits of a success partner. The other great benefits of it is finding somebody, and it could be somebody on your team or on our team or our extended team or a completely different team. But finding a success partner is something that you want to find with similar goals, who's at a similar place in your business, and who maybe even has a somewhat similar lifestyle. So anyway, I've been looking for that, and I think I found a good one. So we talked today, and we are going to start running some free groups together. So I started looking back at my Success Club points, and if anybody hasn't figured this out yet, maybe I'm just slow, but I did just recently figure out how to go back and see all of your previous Success Club points. So if you go in your back office and you click on My Business, and then you go to My Qualifications and then My Success Club Qualification, once you click on that, there's a drop-down box. I really hope this is the right. Yeah. So there's a drop-down box that says Qualification Period. And you can open that up and you can click on any month. So every month will be in there that you've ever been a coach. So mine starts June 2015. So I can click on June 2015 and my report will reload and it will tell me how many Success Club points I earned that month. Okay. So then I signed up in the middle of the month. So I didn't earn any that month. Then the second month, July, it'll tell me how many Success Club points I earned. And it will also tell me how many total months I've qualified for Success Club 5 and 10. And it will also tell you the consecutive months you've qualified for 5 and 10. And that's important to track, like where you're at with Success Club 5 or 10 All-Star or Legend. So anyway, that information is there. So I started looking back at my Success Club points, and I noticed that they were much, much higher in the first several months of my business. And I think Kim kind of touched on this too, like, what was I doing then that I'm not doing now? And for me, it was free groups. So I was running a free group every single month, typically a free clean eating group. And I got tons and tons of people, and I would say 80 to 90% of the people just came to get the free recipes and whatever, and then they went on their merry way. However, since then, several people have come back to me over time, and said different things. But anyway, it's a great funnel to start helping people in that way. And some people, that's all they need, but a lot of people want more. So Anyway, so I'm going to start running those again. So if anybody wants to partner up or take a look at what I'm doing, like I'd be happy to show you. I'm going to be running those with my success partner. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to run an official team Coach Basics. So Jamie has one. I know Anita has one. There's lots of them. Most of them are self-paced. So I'm always going to offer that to my new coaches. Like you can do a self-paced one, or we can add a group. Hi, Chad. And do it together. So as almost as like a challenge group, but a Coach Basics. So we're talking about that, and we're going to talk more about it, but we're probably going to offer that starting what did we say? Starting July 4th, probably maybe the 5th, but 4th, 5th, right then is the week we're going to start a Coach Basics. So keep that in mind if that's something you want to add coaches to. Yeah, so that's kind of it with more things I'm going to be adding to that you guys can add your people into also. All right, I'm going to be jumping around a lot in this call, so I apologize if I have any questions or if I'm rambling, just stop. All right, so one of the other calls I was on today was 1,800 notebooks. Give me 1 second. Find out. Oh, did you go to listen to the Brian Tracy call?
No.
You don't have to. You're not like trouble or anything. I was just curious if you did. It's really good.
No, I had every intention of doing that. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh.
I just figured you would have done it because you read the book. I haven't read the book yet. It's right here on my shelf. I have it, but I haven't read it yet. But anyway, it's really good. And I don't know, you might want to check like now. I mean, usually those things are available for like 48 to 72 hours and then they disappear. So if it's not available and you do want to watch it, I can go, like type up my notes and give them to you. They might not make much sense because they're in my language, but anyway. Okay. So anyway, that was a really, really awesome call. Here it is. Okay. So I guess I'll just talk about it real quick. We got time. He talked about goals, obviously. Talked about having clear goals, clear measures, clear guidelines. One of the biggest takeaways I got from his call was so he was talking about, let me find it, PhDs or something. Okay. So he was talking about when you, you go to school for something big, you get your doctorate or your PhD or whatever. So if you read 30 to 50 books a year in your field, so nursing, or if someone were in sales, or if someone were in, I don't know, pharmaceuticals, or, whatever, network marketing. If you read 30 to 50 books a year in your field, it would be the equivalent of earning your PhD or doctorate, because you've dedicated that much time, and knowledge into your field. So fitness could be part of that, in the Beachbody world, fitness, nutrition, sales, marketing, network marketing, social media, any of that kind of stuff. That really hit home to me because I was thinking like, oh, gosh, personal development is one of our vital behaviors. But if I'm only reading 10 minutes a day, how many books am I reading a year? So, I bet I didn't write it down. So he had this equation. So he was like, if you read 10 minutes a day, you're reading X amount of pages. And it came out to like, I don't know, I'm making this up, but let's say like 12 books a year if you read 10 minutes a day religiously. Where if you read 30 minutes a day, like you read about like 10 more books a year or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like just by increasing your personal development a little bit each day compounds, it's that whole compound effect again, over time, you know, at the end of the year. So that was one of my biggest takeaways from his call. It was more than just personal development that he was talking about. Personal development was obviously a key point that he mentioned, but it was more or less just laser focus on your field and becoming an expert in your field through learning more about it and things like that. So I thought that that was a really great point. The other big takeaway, I mean, there's everything. I took 4 pages of notes, but so he said, imagine what you're currently doing now, how much time you spend in your business, and the things that you're doing with that time. So let's say you work 1 to 2 hours a day. What are you doing in those 1 to 2 hours? So to figure out your like dollar per hour worth of what that is, your desired annual income. So like, let's say you wanted to make, I think it was like 100, the analogy he used was you want to make a 6-figure income a year. You want to make $100,000 a year. If you divide that by 2,000, that is your dollar per hour. And let's look at math, but let me do it real quick. There's a really good point I'm getting at. Divided by 2,000. Okay, so $50 an hour. So if you want, so his point was, if you want to build a business where you're making $100,000 annually, then you need to be working at a pace that would earn you $50 an hour. Does that make sense? So that struck a huge chord because I was like, well, obviously that's one of my long-term goals, but I'm not working anywhere near anything that's worth $50 an hour. Like no one in their right mind would pay me $50 an hour to do what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? Like the amount of effort I'm putting in. So I thought that was a really good point as well. So I will try to, you might have to remind me, but I'll try to like type up some of these points and just put them in a file section to reference in our team page, because I think he made some really great points and analogies, and I took some like pictures of his webcast as I was watching it. So I'll try to put those up. But if that's still available, then I think Heather's the only one who earned that. But if that's still available, check it out. And even if you can't like sit down, maybe like prop up your phone in front of the computer and record it or something. Like, that's totally cheating, but I don't know, do it. Okay, are you going to bed? Yes? No, okay. All right, and then I got on this call that I didn't take any notes for, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it because I'm just going to end up rambling. Okay, I'll talk about a different one. The third call I was on today. So I'm in this group with Sydney Maurer. She's like one of the Central Region reps, and she runs the. Are you in the Star Watch or either of those groups? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which groups?
It's called. It's like Star. I don't know at what point you get added to these groups. It was just a group I was added to, so I don't know if. Called Star Watch Diamonds and 1 Star. Oh, okay. So you must get added when you're a diamond. Okay. Anyway, so this is another thing. Corporate is always watching, and I don't mean that in like a creepy way, but in a good way. So, like, they know, and they must get a report or a list when someone in their region goes diamond, because. And you automatically get like added all this stuff, and you get access to like all this other training, right? And that increases with, the higher up you get. So anyway, in this group, I asked her, I reached out to her and I said, I have these really big goals and I would just like to be part of a group or get like a, on a call with you or something and just kind of like mastermind some things to do. He's like, oh, great. We have this call every other Tuesday at 1:00 and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, perfect. Sign me up. So anyway, today she was talking about recruiting. And it was really, really simple. And that's what I liked about it, because it wasn't like some new crazy thing with like an app or a script or a, whatever. It was just simple. This is what you need to do to recruit coaches. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I thought it was really important. One of the number one things that this girl talked about was never discounting or overlooking a discount coach. So the person who gave this call had been a discount coach for a year and a half. She signed up purely because she was a bargain shopper type of deal, and she never wanted anything to do with business. She was a dental hygienist and loved it, right? And she didn't go too much into her story, but anyway, long story short, after a year and a half, she just started hopping on team calls. Never told anybody she was interested. She just started checking things out because she was already on the team page. She had been on this coach's team page for a year and a half. She just sat there and watched and listened. And she said something happened. Anyway, she became a coach. She started working. And now she's growing really, really rapidly. And so I was expecting, when she told me she was going to talk about recruiting, I was expecting some like, okay, she's going to know what to say. She's going to know how to attract these great coaches. She's going to know how to do all this stuff. And she said, honestly, I don't say anything different to the people I recruit. And she said she's recruiting like 10 coaches a month, which in the grand spectrum of things is not a ton. To me, it's a lot. But like in the grand spectrum of things, it's not. So, anyway, she talked about a lot of stuff and hit on a lot of points, and I won't go into all the details, but couple main things she talked about. Bonnie Engel has a really great national wake-up call. You can listen to it on a podcast about recruiting. And she talks a lot about basically using her timeline, like her posts, as journals and sharing in that way, and just kind of just showing her lifestyle in that way. Almost like as if she were on a reality show that people want to watch. So what attracts people to reality shows, right? I don't even know what it is, but whatever it is, there's something there that makes you want to know like more about that person's life. And what's weird about it is these people aren't even celebrities. They're just people who applied for a dang television show. And all of America wants to know everything about them. So what's the draw there? So those kind of, questions arose as to these people, the only reason people care about them is because they're in the spotlight. Like if they just had a Facebook page without a television show, no one would care. But it's the point that the way that they're presenting themselves is the point I'm trying to make. So anyway, that was a really good eye opener to me, is that it's not that you have to be someone super credible, and you don't have to be somebody who has like all these accolades. You just have to be somebody who's present and shows up regularly. Right? The other thing is, let's see, what else did she say? So much of this stuff is like beating a dead horse, like everybody knows it. Oh, I know. Okay, she said the number one, that was the number two thing, but the number one thing that she said has completely changed her recruiting game is her tracking system. She said she's been a coach for like 4 years, but her tracking system was basically non-existent. Like for a while, she would keep a great list on notebook paper, and she would follow up, and, she'd have, pretty good Success Club points, like 10 and up always or whatever. She said, and then she got a tracking system that worked for her. And she had tried, a couple different things. She tried pen and paper. She tried just different things. I think she had tried Asana and Teamsy. And she said, well, they were great. I just wasn't, for whatever reason, I wasn't doing them. Like once I got on them, they worked, but I never got on them. So anyway, so she said that she started using Google Streak. which is STREAK. It's like a thing you can add to your Gmail account for free. And there's lots of YouTube's videos on it. But anyway, she said that is the tracking system that she now used. And she said it completely catapulted her forward. She said, I really didn't do much different. I was still inviting like I normally did. I was still, doing a vital behavior. She said the only difference is I was tracking who I talked to, who I wanted, who I thought my great prospects would be. And she was just tracking like all these different things, but she had it in a really great organized way. And she said that completely catapulted her from, I think she wasn't even diamond yet, to like, I don't know, she's at 1 or 2 star right now, like in a very short period of time. So again, it's like anything, you can be given every tool in the shed, but if you don't ever pick them up and use it, you're not going to get what you want. Right. So, I'm currently looking into Google Streak. I have Teamsy, and while I get on Teamsy, I love it. It's great. I can do it really fast. My problem is I never sit my butt down to get on Teamsy, and I pay $30 a month for it, so I'm about to cancel it. But I guess Google Streak will give you like alerts and pop-ups, and you can set all that stuff up. So it'll be like, hey, you haven't worked today, you haven't done anything, these are on your follow-up list, like this is all the stuff you need to do today, sit down and do it, type of deal, from what I understand. So anyway, I'm looking into that. I'll let you guys know how it goes. So I was really excited to know that the tracking is what was the game changer for her. It wasn't, learning, a better script or running better sneak peeks or like doing all this other stuff. It was just tracking, just following up. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on that. The last point I want to make on this is Sydney shared right before we got the call. She shared this story that I was like, ugh, it was like a punch in the gut because I've been here. So this particular coach, who she didn't say who it was, but she said she's an 8-star diamond coach, and she was somebody who's been, steadily successful. She was doing great. She had always shown up. She had always had great Success Club points. She had never not hit Success Club. And Arnaud was like looking through whatever they look through at corporate and was like, oh, so-and-so doesn't have any Success Club points this month. And it's like the 3rd week in the month. Like, what's going on? So he messages her, hey, how's everything going? What's been going on? Yada, yada, yada. Can I help you with anything? She says, yeah, no, I've just been like super focused. I've been creating all these really great videos on YouTube. I like training videos and stuff. And I've been doing, all this stuff on my team page, and I've been setting up this, and I've been working on Canva, and I've been, trying to make really great graphics for my page and doing all this stuff. And she said, I've just been so focused on my team and helping them reach their goals and giving them more tools. She said, I've completely dropped the ball on what I need to do every day for my business. And so anyway, it was like the 3rd week, and she had zero Success Club points. And she said, Sydney said, guess how many? So anyway, her and Arnold talked, and they said, you need to sit down and you need to do, you made this a non-negotiable goal. You told me this. So you need to sit down and tell me what you're going to do and how many invites you're going to send. She's like, okay, I'll do it. So she sat down. So guess how many invites she had to send in the last week of the month to reach Success Club 5. Just take a guess. 320.
I was going to say like 150, but that's crazy.
300. So she said the point that she got to, or that Arnold got to with her, was you completely stopped pumping the well. You had it going, and maybe all last month, maybe you didn't have to do much because you had all these great contacts before and all these great conversations before. So, it was easy for you to hit Success Club or to reach your goals, or maybe you only had to message a couple people. So you had the time to go, work on team stuff, but then you lost your focus and you thought it was just going to happen this month, and it didn't. So then she had to bust her ass. 300. Can you imagine sending 320 messages? I probably haven't sent 320 messages my whole coaching career. Like, that's insane. And she had to do that as an 8-star diamond, like that far in her business to reach her goal, because she took her foot off the gas is basically all she did. And she didn't even necessarily take her foot off the gas. She just took her hands off the steering wheel, I guess. I mean, she just, it happens. So that was like a huge gut check for me, because I was like, some months I can reach 10 quite easily without having to, like, I should not be telling you guys this, but without having to like message that many people, because I've put in so much work on the back end. But when they said this to me, it was like, oh God, okay, I need to get like my big girl pants on. I need to just bust this out, because I can't just settle for just my minimum goal every month. Like, my minimum goal is 10 every month. And while that's, far exceeds the company-wide minimum success goal or whatever, it's my minimum goal. So anyway, that's that. That was a huge point for me. Let's see if there's anything else I want to yammer about before we get off the call. Okay, so the very last call I was on today before this one was that one from Joe Cardone. And he basically just went through the invitation process. I mean, it was super simple. This is what's funny about every call I was on today. If I could take one key takeaway from every single call I was on today. So I was on just a meeting, an informal meeting with a potential successful partner. And then I had my mastermind call with Sydney at 1. And then there was just a random pop-up thing in that Developing Diamonds Live. So I was listening to that today. And what is her name? Brandy was the one who went today, which was phenomenal. And so I listened to that. And then this call was at 5. So I was on like 4 or 5 calls today, and every single one of them basically said the same thing. Like, you have to do the 4 vital behaviors, and you have to track it, and you have to be consistent about it. Like, that's it. And then it's like, it's amazing to me how much this stuff can get like impounded into us, and we can see it over and over again. But yet, it takes something different for everybody to see it clearly. You know what I mean? What?
I want you to go upstairs and do my brown body. So
Daddy's up there. Go get it. So yeah, it's just, it is what it is. But anyway, those were my biggest takeaways from the day. So what I would like to challenge everyone to do on this team is by the end of this week, so today's Tuesday. So by the end of this week, so the 15th, nope, wrong month, hold please. The 17th, so by the 17th, this Friday, I would love it if everyone would send me their tracking system. So it doesn't have to be 100% in place yet, because it may take you a little longer than that to set it up, depending on what you choose. And you don't have to choose an app or a program or whatever. If you have a great pen and paper notebook system, that's awesome. I don't care what you do. But I know that all of us could use a kick in the butt about our tracking. So let's make that a goal and a requirement for the week, is to figure out what we're going to do. So I'm going to use Google Streak, and every morning I'm going to watch, well, I might be able to get it finished tonight or tomorrow morning, but watch all the videos on how to get it set up and start implementing it. So by Friday, I want to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how it's working. So I'll put a post up, but if everyone on the team who watches this and your working coaches could do that. And we can just get this ingrained now. And I think we will, not I think, I know we will, I'm confident in the fact that we will all reach our goals much easier and much quicker if we just bite the bullet and do this now. And in the broad spectrum of things, when, as soon as we nail this down, this is, the whole purpose of a coach is to duplicate what you do in your business. So if we can lock this in and this can be ingrained in our business, ingrained in us like our workouts are, or like our nutrition is, those are the things that I would say our team is phenomenal at. Like, we know exactly what we need to do nutritionally. We know exactly what we need to do in our workouts, and we get it done every single day. I know that because I see you guys posting about it. So those are our strong points. So I think we need to make sure that we work on our follow-ups and our tracking and make that a part of our day to the point where it would feel as if, you missed your workout or you ate like crap. Like, that's how we should feel about missing our vital behaviors every day, because that should be that ingrained into our systems. So we need systems. So anyway, that's all I have. That's my 1,900 points that I wanted to make. I just had so much today. So I'm sorry if I overflowed you with information. Hopefully you're able to at least pull a few key points out of it. And let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully one day I will get all of this typed up and put into our team page. So anyway, questions before we get moving?
No.
Okay. All right. Keep trucking, and I will talk to you guys throughout the week, and have an awesome. Oh my gosh, we are literally like halfway through the year tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Crazy. All right. Have a great night, you guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Sounds good. You too.
Okay, bye.